Before we go deeper into how to use the eMathStudio environment to write and solve mathematical problems, we need to have a closer look at how to write mathematical formulas with a computer. So we are going to look at this rather complex expression here. We're going to show how to write this, and we have already here a calculation element. There are two ways of writing mathematical expressions, using the mathematics panel and using the keyboard. We start by showing how to use the mathematics panel. The mathematics panel is down here. You can see there's an icon of a keyboard, and then if you click this, you will get the mathematics panel. And here are different tabs for different groups of mathematical panels. The 1 to 3 tab has the most frequently used symbols, and notice that there are two parts. There's this kind of 1 and 2, so there's actually quite a lot of symbols here. ABC is the one which contains the standard keyboard Roman letters. Then we have alpha, beta, gamma, which contains the Greek letters, small and capital letters. Then we have this logical symbol. This contains logical notation and set theory notation, like this. Then we have units. There's lots of different kinds of units that you can use. For example, for distance, there is millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, meter, micrometer, nanometer, and so on. And for example, for time, there is second, minutes, hours, days, and years, and so on. And finally, miscellaneous contains a lot of additional symbols which are maybe not so frequently used. We start by typing 2 from the keyboard, and then we are adding parentheses. And you can notice that there is already the system is prepared for closing a parenthesis. We write now 3, and then we need to find the power, and this we do by looking at this, clicking this symbol, and it adds a small square there where we can write the power. So that's 2. And then we need to get out of this power expression either by clicking the right arrow or space. And then we click the plus sign, and then we have 2, and again the power. Actually, we could also take the square directly here, a to the square. And then we have the end of the parenthesis. This is the numerator, and we need to add the denominator there. We can do it in 2 different ways. Either we can select with the mouse this first expression, or we can actually use this triple left bar here to select the whole expression like this. After we have selected it, we can use this fraction notation, and then we get the denominator. Here we write 3, and then parentheses, and then we have 2, and then we need to take the real power, 2 to the power of 4, right arrow, and then minus and 1. And then right arrow gets us out of this expression. One more right arrow gets us out of the fraction. Then we take plus, and then we write the second term, 3, parentheses, 4, square, minus, I took the minus from the keyboard now, 2, end of brackets, and then we select the numerator, and then the fraction symbol, and then we write the 9. So now we have written this expression. We show how to write this same expression using only the keyboard. And for the keyboard, we have a number of shortcuts that we can use. We can see here that for the addition, we just use the plus from the keyboard. For subtraction, we use the minus from the keyboard. For multiplication, we use the star. And for division, we use the slash. For power, we can write a caret symbol. We come back to the others later on. So let's start writing this expression from the keyboard. We write 3, write parentheses from the keyboard, 3, and then we take the caret symbol, and that creates this exponent there. And we write 2, and then arrow, right arrow, plus 2, caret symbol, 2. We can also use the space to get out of this exponent, and then right bracket. And then we can select this whole expression, either like this, or select it by, let's say, shift left arrow. And after that, we just write the division sign, and then we write the denominator, and that is 3, left parenthesis, 2, caret, 4, space, minus 1, right parenthesis, one more space gets you out of the fraction, plus 3, left brackets, 4 to the power of caret to 2, space, minus 2, right bracket, select this denominator, division sign, and then 9. And now we have written this also here. Besides the standard mathematical notation, you will find a lot of other symbols in the math panel. And if you are hovering over one of these symbols, like let's say this, then it shows you how to write this from the keyboard. So let's say here you have the caret, here is caret 2. For the square root, you see that backslash sqrt is a command for writing square roots. And for example, pi, backslash pi, and so on. So this means that all the symbols that you can take from the math panel, you can also write from the keyboard. These are the LaTeX commands. You can mix freely the keyboard and the math panel. So for example, I could write here, I take the square root, I click here square root, and then I write 23, space gets me out of the square root, plus, and then I write backslash sqrt space, and that gives me a square root again, and 23. So it doesn't matter how you produce the symbol here, the only thing which is important is the end product. And usually the math panel is used mostly for less frequent math symbols, while the more frequent math symbols you learn by heart and you type them from the keyboard. And in fact, this makes entering mathematics formulas quite fast in this environment.